Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you doing, everyone? Welcome to another vlog for this YouTube channel. This vlog for today is going to be about tips. I thought of giving you some tips about how to manage your overthinking mind. If you really see yourself as someone who thinks a lot, who jumps from one thought to another and one thought to another, then this video is for you. I'm going to share with you 8 tips on how to manage this habit, this mental habit of overthinking, overstressing, overworrying. So my first tip is to dive into stillness and quietness. And what I mean here is meditation, or just to sit quietly by yourself in your room, and just to take that time to just be quiet and still and watch whatever is going around you. Watch your mind, what your mind is doing, how it's thinking, and just sit quiet and dive into stillness. From my experience, I really felt the depth of this, because I had that habit myself, which is overthinking and overworrying. When I started diving into stillness and just to learn this new skill of how to be just quiet and still by myself in a room without anyone. And at the beginning, it was scary because I was like, oh, what's going to happen? Or, but then later with practice, I got used to it. So I advise you at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes in a day, whether it's in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, just to take that time and just to sit quietly and observe whatever is going on around you. The second tip is to journal your thoughts and emotions. If you have a notebook, if you have a notepad and a pen, please, I advise you to do this, because it changed my life totally. The moment you start writing your thoughts and emotions in your notepad or wherever, you will notice a shift in your thinking, because you're not just thinking, but you are reading your thoughts right now. Because once you finish writing your thoughts, you will read it one by one and see what is going on inside your mind. But sometimes when you just think and you just, randomly go on with your life, you don't know what is, you can't really see it with your own eyes. But once you start writing your thoughts in a piece of paper or in your book or in your notepad or in your diary, you will see what's going on inside your mind. And you will start asking yourself, does this make sense? You will question your thoughts. And that's a big transformational game. It can really change your life, from scratch, which is really, really amazing. So I really advise you to do that and start journaling your thoughts, whether it is in the morning, in the afternoon, whenever you're free. Just write down your thoughts in your journal. And my third tip is to be in nature. From my experience, I think to be in nature is something that has got its own flavor, its own taste. Especially if you are, overwhelmed with stress, tension, sometimes maybe you are confused, you don't know what to do, what is the right decision or which choice to make. So once you go into nature, let us say going for a walk on the beach, or just, having a walk, in the neighborhood, just to be outside and, watch the trees, the fresh air, the bushes, when you see houses, cars, the earth and what is going on outside. That is very, very much different from the moment you are inside the house. It gives you a sense of relief, if you know what I mean. Like you just came out of a zone and you went into a different zone. So it gives you a different environment, a different atmosphere. It changes your mood. So it makes you really, understand, okay, so this is it, this is life. And that kind of nature, that kind of wild environment which is outside, it can change your mood and it can slow your overthinking mind. It really slows it down. The fourth tip is, I think maybe you will be surprised, or but what really worked for me is to be alone and take your time for yourself. Sometimes when we are with people, whether it is at work or with friends or with family, and your mind is overthinking, over-worrying, over-stressing, and it really doesn't give you that space to think clearly for yourself. So sometimes when you take the time to be alone, maybe it is for 1 day, 2 days, or for the weekend, it can give you that clarity that you need, the clarity of life, clarity of decisions that you want to make. Maybe you are confused between two decisions or two choices, you are not sure. Maybe shall I pick this job or not, or shall I go and do shopping in that area or wherever, or is this the right partner or what? So these kind of things, really you need to take that time, that sacred time, that private time to be alone with yourself, and within time you will develop that clarity, that awareness of how your life is going, what is the direction you would like it to go in the future, and so on. My fifth tip is to be choosy and selective of your thoughts. From my experience, I noticed that our minds have got that habit of, absorbing all that comes from the environment, whether it is from the career, from family, from the society, from whatever is going on around us. It's like a sponge, it just absorbs. But this tip, which is to be choosy and selective of what are the thoughts that you would like to entertain in your mind, is very, very helpful, because you will notice that many thoughts in your mind are not that important. I mean, it doesn't really require that kind of stress or tension or worry, excess worries about it. So once you do that prioritizing, which is, okay, now this thought and this thought, which one is important? Okay, now you're going to prioritize. Okay, maybe this thought is more about the future, which I don't need to worry much, but maybe this thought is more in the present moment, and this is where I can take action right now and do something about it. So when you do this prioritizing and finding out which thought that is most important to you now and which thought that is not very, very important, then it will help you to select the most favorable thoughts and emotions that can help you to empower you in your life today. The sixth tip is really to take back your responsibility and your power. I think this was taken away from us, when we heard these kind of statements. Let us say, you have to do whatever you're being told to do, or you have to follow instructions, or you have to really be fearful of whatever is going around you. You have to be careful, So these kind of thoughts really made us in a bubble, in a comfortable zone, and it can stop us from, taking action for your life. But once you take that responsibility back, that power back, to choose for yourself, to think differently from others, then that will really make the difference for you. And the seventh tip is, maybe I don't know if you heard it before or not, but decluttering your mind. And what I mean by decluttering your mind is really filtering out the things that doesn't serve you much, or it just adds stress or tension to you. So let us say, I'll just give you examples of what kind of decluttering that you can do and that can help your mind. Let us say decluttering your environment. Maybe your home is filled with unnecessary stuff that you don't use. Maybe let us say your clothes, your cupboard. Maybe you have got clothes that you don't wear. Maybe 2 years or 3 years that you're not wearing those clothes. You can just give them away for charity, for example. You can also do decluttering, for the people around you. So let us say maybe you're going out with friends, and maybe you have got 10 or 15 friends and you want to hang out with all of them. When you do decluttering for the people around you, you will be selective in which friend that you really feel comfortable to go out with, and which friend that you think, okay, I don't want to really spend long time with that person. It doesn't mean that you will harm that person's feelings or whatever, but it's just you need to do some decluttering to give that space for your life, that space for your time, and to become more effective in whatever you are doing. Another decluttering is really to declutter your schedule, your routine. I think we are living in a society or in a time zone, in a generation where we are really overwhelmed or bombarded with so many things, so many tasks to do, last minute things to do, things from the family, things from home, things from work, things from the outside, like government institutions or whatever. So once you realize that your schedule is very, very crowded and you barely have that time, that space for yourself, then that is the time you need to do some decluttering for your schedule and your routine, to find out which routine, which schedule that is most important to you now, and which one that doesn't serve you much, and you can just clear it from your schedule. Another decluttering is decluttering of your duties and responsibilities. I think this is a very, very effective one, because maybe, I don't know if this can relate to any of you, but sometimes we tend to just feel like this is my responsibility, I have to do this, or this is my responsibility, I have to do this. Like maybe I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, I'm a wife, and I have to be very, very good in all of these roles. I think this is really a very frustrating way of thinking, and you need to, create some kind of balance among these roles. So, giving reasonable energy of yours into that role, let us say as an employee, and then giving a reasonable shift. Then you will really understand how to, manage your responsibilities, and you don't need to really be perfect in all the roles. You can just do the best you can according to the energy you have. But trying to be perfect and trying to be superstar in those areas, that can be very, very frustrating. So we need to do decluttering for that area as well. And the last tip for the day, which I call it as a bonus tip, this is the book that I have read, and it transformed my way of thinking. It taught me some of the areas about my mind, how my mind works, and what are the techniques or tricks that my mind likes to use to make me, in that bubble, in that comfortable bubble where I don't take action, I don't do anything about my life, and I just stay there quiet and, scared from the unknown. So I think it's very, very good to learn about that. And this book is called The Power of Now, and it is written by Eckhart Tolle. This book really teaches you about the mind, how your mind works, and what you can do, when you see your mind, how it's thinking. Because I think if you are at the beginning of your journey and you are just learning about your mind, you will notice that your mind is just thinking and thinking and thinking, and worrying about what people think about you. You're worrying about what can happen to you in the future. You're worrying about, unexpected situations that can happen, and trying to think of the worst situation that can happen. So if that is the case, then this book is a big changer. It can really transform the way you think. I advise you to grab a copy of it, or listen to it in the YouTube. I think you can find it there for free. And these are my 8 tips. So I hope that these tips, or any of these tips, are helpful to you. And if you are facing this kind of mental drama, and I'm looking forward, inshallah, to see you in another vlog. Please feel free to comment in the description here, and share what are your tips or your ways or methods of dealing with your overthinking mind and how you manage it. And I'm going to see you, inshallah, in the next vlog. See you. Ma salama.